Hello everyone, welcome to this brand new session, the fourth session of our Lacy Zentangle series. And today we'll be drawing another new tile using Zentangle and laces together, combining them together. So let's get started right away. So I'm going to be starting with a fun string here, right? So I'm first going to draw two double lines like this, right? And then one more probably like this, right? And these portions I will be using for laces, right? And then in the center we will do some tangling. So let's get started. I'm going to start with my 10, right? And first give them a border. You can also do that with 8 and then redo the lines. So whichever way you are comfortable, right? And then I'm going to add one more line in the center. And then I'm going to add some flux-like petals, very commonly seen in laces and very commonly seen in Zentangle too. The shape is that of a droplet, just as we draw the tangle flux. Just that in flux we give it a more fuller look. The heads are a little more bulky and big, as far as Zentangle is concerned. So done with that exercise. Now I'm going to add a thin aura. Using the same pen still, just not pushing it too hard. So I'm getting thinner lines here. Again the other side. Same exercise. Make sure you don't put your hand on wet jelly roll. I'll do the same thing on this side also. Exactly the same thing. So you can either choose to complete this part of the line or just take this forward like this, and again I'm going to add those petal shapes. In the same fashion. A very commonly seen lace design. So take your time, add nice curves. Just like you draw the tangle flux. Same stroke. And then a thin border, an aura. Like this, and then from the other side. Then I'm going to add one more aura and then give a lacy ending. So remember the C stroke that we drew like this in one of our previous tiles. I'm just going to do the same, but this time they are crossing each other. So C stroke crossing each other like this. Small dots at the ends. Gives a nice lacy feeling like this. Yeah, we'll do the same on, all the sides. Again, give an aura and do the same exercise. Small ones, not too big. Yeah, I hope you can see it clearly. Yeah. Yeah, so once we are done that, we can do this on the other side also. Adding an aura. Yeah, and I'll do exactly the same on this side also. So do it at your own pace, no hurry. Take your time and slowly add these loops, right? Right, so I've finished doing that exercise. Now the next thing, since I'm using my 10, I'm going to do one more thing with the 10 only. Add a nice flower like this, a petal, and then another aura, a petal, and then another aura, a petal, and then another aura, and then a leaf shape, straight line, the typical leaf that we know, and then another leaf shape and some veins. Yeah, and I will do exactly the same here also, but probably a smaller one. Another aura, another aura, another aura. Since these are the bolder part of the designs that I'm going to draw, so I'm doing all of that with the bold pen only. You can use your O10 or O8. Yeah, so now that we have done that, I am going to pick up my 5. Yeah, so remember these fish scales kind of filling that I mentioned to you. Yeah, you can either add small orbs just like tipple, or you can go with that fish scale kind of filling, right? So I'm going to start with the small tag like grid. Yeah, ultimately they start to look like small tipples, so you can very well go with small orbs, or you can go the way I am doing, like fish scales, small curves. Yeah, so both are fine, right? So it's a fine filling. The backgrounds are generally very fine, so you have to be patient, take your time, don't haste up, relax your hands if it is getting tired, stretch yourself, and slowly fill in this section with this fine filling like fish scales or tag, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I hope it is clear to you. Yeah, so it's pretty fine. It is supposed to be fine, then only you can differentiate between the main design and the filler. Yeah, so that's important. That's why we keep changing pens also, because laces also always have something prominent and something lying in the background. Yeah, so again I'll do the same exercise on the other side. like this. Yeah. So I am now on the last part doing the same exercise. You can see it gives such a nice lacy look. Yeah. So take your time and slowly add these small, so you can see they almost look like small tipples. Yeah, so even I think if you add small tipples, they will almost give the same look. So if you want, you can try out that also. I am drawing them like just like fish scales, just as we draw a tangle called tag. Yeah, it's almost finishing here. Yeah. So now inside these petals you can either keep it as it is, or again you have that option to add that slight texturing inside, right? So it will add that character of laces. So I'm very fine texturing I'm adding inside so that lines are not absolutely clean. Yeah, you can see. So it's a fine work. So be patient. And if you want it to look actually like a lace, then take that time and do that exercise for all the petals. Yeah. If you want, you can add something else also, like a crisscross or the looping inside. That will color the whole color the whole thing. That's also an option. So I want to keep certain sections black. It adds to the look of the lace. Yeah. So that's why I'm not doing that looping inside. The bigger ones, just like that. Yeah. I'm just adding a slight texture. Yeah, so I'll quickly do that and come back. So almost finishing with the exercise. Added that texture to almost all the petals. Slowly take your time. Yeah, so we are done with that. Now inside these, again the looping, the aura that we drew, same stroke, loops, yeah, again the same stroke. Inside, up to you, you can add some fine lines. Using my O5. Yeah, so that's another lacy look. Same exercise here. The zigzag stroke. And the last one. Yeah, and then some fine lines inside. right? So these are the main designs. Now rest of the space I will again add that mesh, which by now you're pretty familiar with. Yeah. So I'll quickly add the mesh on both the sides. Yeah. And then crisscross. So start from the other direction. Take your time. Slowly complete the mesh. Yeah, so I'll do exactly the same this side. So I'm done with that exercise. So after drawing the mesh, I'm just going to redo the outer line of this flower with my 10. And the petal. Right, so that it stands out. Yeah, so that's about the lace today. So let us now move on to some tangling. Yeah, so we have some space left. Let's just grow mukas here. So I am going to add some nice flowy mukas. Yeah, they are great fun to draw. Some unfurled, some unfurled. I'm sorry. So just go with the flow, draw it the way you wish to. Some hidden ones. Right, so I'm not thinking much where, what, just going with the flow. Probably one more. Drawing behind. Yeah, you can add some other pattern also, whatever you feel like. Just go with what you feel like at that point of time. Yeah, then probably I'll add some indirellas. So start with a dot and these curved lines, increasing in size up to about the center, halfway, and then reducing in size again. Purely aura based angle, a Zentangle original, indirella lines. not touching each other, auras first increasing in size and then decreasing in size. Yeah, so beautiful tangle. Just take your time and add some indirellas. I'll do that on this side also. So you can see what lines can do, yeah, what auras can do. Such simple strokes and the beautiful tangle that it creates. Indirella. Again, the name and the tangle, how it looks, no connection. They are randomly named to emphasize the fact that Zentangle is abstract. It is not meant to represent anything in particular. So add some rounding, some character, some weight at places where lines are intersecting, some bit of ink here and there. They look like connected with each other. Yeah, so make sure the jelly roll has dried up. Don't put your hand immediately. I keep saying that because I've smudged it a lot of times. Number of times. Yeah, so little bit of weight here and there, and then you can add some fescues. Coming out randomly here and there. Yeah, just go with the flow. Whatever you feel like drawing at that point of time, just go with that. Yeah, so I'm going to add probably one more. Yeah, so let us now move on to shading our tile. Yeah, if you want, you can add one nice, you can continue this lace structure throughout. Yeah, so that's one option. It will give a more completed look. Yeah, the border that I gave here, I'm just adding that around my tile like this. Yeah, so let us now start to shade our tile. Yeah, starting with the laces. Again, I want to add a little graphite under these lines, not too much, and you might want to redo the lines after blending the graphite, because as we have seen in the earlier sessions also, mostly it turns gray. It is very difficult to retain it white. Yeah, so adding some thin graphite. Yeah, and then you can add on this aura also, but since the spaces are too less, I'm not going to add there. I'm just going to aura this flower, right, and an outer aura here. Add a little more prominence to the flower and the petals. Yeah, so you can see I am using normal ordinary flowers, petal shapes. It's just the way you highlight them, add another aura, add the looping, because they have to look laced, yeah. So that's the only thing. Otherwise, everything, every design is, the shapes are very much the same, right? You don't have to find new shapes or new kind of flowers or petals. It's the same thing, just that to give it a lacy touch you have to add a few things, right? So you can see we may have to redo the lines after we blend the graphite. So that's not just with laces, we generally do that with any tile. After we have shaded, we would like to revisit some lines, re-emphasize it, yeah. So that's okay. So now just blending carefully around the petal and the leaf. Take your time, don't haste up. So if you're feeling tired, since it is a bit of intricate work, relax, leave it for now, come back to it later, but don't haste up, right? So it is meant to relax you, come back to it later. So again, I'm going to add some chalk on my hookahs. Yeah, some graphite on the indirella, the lower portion. Right, again the other ones, giving a high and low effect. Yeah, so just blend the graphite, take it to about half of the indirella, don't blend too much. Pick up the other blending stub and just blend your chalk that you have added on the mochas. Yeah, then use the chalk for the upper part of your indirellas. Highlight the second half, don't add too much. Yeah, then again blend it, soften it. So your indirellas start to breathe. Yeah, they pop up. You can re-emphasize the lines a little more, the lower part. Not much, just a touch. Yeah, So little bit of redoing of lines. So pick up your 10 or 08. I think 08 should be fine. And this line which has turned a little gray, I'm going to redo it carefully. Let's add the white once again. Yeah, and so is for this side. Just a slight touch, not much. Yeah, I think we are done. We don't need any more of shading, right? So that's our tile for today. I'm now going to close it. Right, take a moment to appreciate your tile, sign and date it. And I shall see you again with another new session of Lacy Zentangles. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.